Before watching the video, can you please save a little bit time to like and subscribe to SkypluS have mover to increase?
The Munich air disaster occurred on February 6, 1958 when British European Airways Flight 609 crashed on its third attempt to take off at Munich-Riem Airport in Munich, West Germany. The aircraft was carrying the Manchester United football team, nicknamed the Busby Babes, along with supporters and journalists. All there were 44 people on board. Schedule, flight origin, Belgrade Airport, Belgrade, SFR Yugoslavia. Stopover, Munich-Riem Airport, West Germany. Destination, Manchester Airport, Manchester, England, UK. The aircraft was a 6-year-old Airspeed Ambassador 2A Elizabethan, built in 1952 and delivered to BEA the same year. The captain, James Thane, was a former flight lieutenant in the Royal Air Force RAF. He was promoted to flight lieutenant in May 1948 and received a permanent commission in the same rank in 1952. He retired from the RAF to join BEA. The co-pilot, Captain Kenneth Raymond, was also a former RAF flight lieutenant and a Second World War flying ace. After leaving the RAF in 1945, he joined British Overseas Airways Corporation in Cairo, before joining BEA in 1947. He had had experience with Vikings, Dakotas and the Ambassador Elizabethan class. The flight stopped to refuel in Munich, because a non-stop flight from Belgrade to Manchester was beyond the range of the Elizabethan class Airspeed Ambassador. After refueling, pilots James Thane and Kenneth Raymond twice abandoned takeoff because of boost surging in the left engine. Fearing they would fall too far behind schedule, Thane rejected an overnight stay in Munich in favor of a third takeoff attempt. The passengers were called back to the plane 15 minutes after leaving it. A few of the players were not confident flyers, particularly Billy Whalen, who said, "This may be death, but I'm ready, eh?" The pilots agreed to attempt takeoff, but that they would watch the instruments for surging in the engines. At 15:03, they told the control tower of their decision. Raymond moved the throttle forward slowly and released the brakes. The plane began to accelerate. Once the plane reached 117 knots, 217 kilometers per hour, he announced V1, at which it was no longer safe to abort takeoff, and Raymond listened for the call of V2, 119 knots, 220 kilometers per hour, the minimum required to get off the ground. Thane expected the speed to rise, but it fluctuated around 117 knots before suddenly dropping to 112 knots, 207 kilometers per hour, and then 105 knots, 194 kilometers per hour. Raymond shouted, "Christ, we won't make it."
Bank angle. Don't sink, too low, terrain.
The plane skidded off the end of the runway, crashed into the fence surrounding the airport and across a road before its port wing was torn off as it caught a house, home to a family of 6. On seeing flames around the cockpit, Thane feared that the aircraft would explode and told his crew to evacuate the area. Raymond was trapped in his seat by the crumpled fuselage and told Thane to go without him. Thane clambered out of the galley window. On reaching the ground, he saw flames growing under the starboard wing, which held 500 imperial gallons, 2,300 L of fuel. He shouted to his crew to get away and climbed back into the aircraft to retrieve 2 handheld fire extinguishers, stopping to tell Raymond he would be back when the fires had been dealt with. 20 of whom died at the scene. The injured, some unconscious, were taken to Munich's Rex-der-Isar hospital, where 3 more died, resulting in 23 fatalities with 21 survivors. An investigation by West German airport authorities originally blamed Thane, saying he did not de-ice the aircraft's wings, despite eyewitness statements indicating that de-icing was unnecessary. The last inquiry by the UK Board of Trade, released in 1969, found that the crash was caused by snow slush on the runway that slowed the plane too much to allow takeoff and that Captain Thane was not to blame.
Thank you for watching the video. If you have an idea of the flight, please comment below to everyone discuss.